What's going on, guys? We're back with another YouTube video. So I watched the Marvel Zombies miniseries, and I have a feeling a lot of people are not gonna like what I have to say about it. I'm gonna be honest, the show is bad. Nah, I'm playing. Oh, come on! After watching, I can confidently say that this is absolutely one of the best properties that Disney has put out in a long time. I'm sorry to disappoint anyone who clicked on this vid looking for a negative review. I mean, the show is damn good. Now, you guys watching this video probably saw the vid I did a few weeks back when the trailer came out, and one of the things I said in that video was how surprised I was at the fact that it was TVMA. Because we all know these days, whenever you go see a Marvel movie or a TV show, you're kind of expecting it to be toned down, super sanitized, can't show a lot of blood, can't show this, can't show that. Safe to say that was definitely not the case in this show. Tons of characters in this show die. Actually, I think 90% of the characters we saw in this, they're all dead by the last episode. With the exception of, I think, Kamala Khan, Riri, maybe Spider-Man, I don't know, but we'll get to that. Anyways, yeah, there are a lot of deaths, and they die in the most brutal and gruesomely creative ways possible. I actually love how unpredictable it was at times as well. Like in the first episode, we start off with Riri Williams, Kate Bishop, and Kamala Khan. So, you know, Young Avengers crumbs, obviously, which it didn't really surprise me because it was pretty clear from the trailers that the show was going to revolve around Kamala. What actually surprised me was how quickly they killed off Kate within the first episode. And the way she went out too. Like, she shoots a trick arrow at zombie Captain Marvel, it doesn't work, and she just gets incinerated. So off the bat, seeing that, it's like, huh, so that's the type of timing we're gonna be on today. Okay, I'm here for it. Stuff like that kind of really set the whole tone and precedent for the show pretty quickly, in the sense that no one is completely safe. Anyone can get killed at almost any time, and I love that. That's actually one of the benefits of not having to operate within continuity. You're not really obligated to keep certain characters alive. You don't have to get things exactly right to the main timeline. Now, obviously, there's gonna still be some aspects from the main timeline incorporated into this, which they did. I really love this. Like, they utilized locations like the raft, the prison boat from Civil War that Zemo was in, and how they came up with the idea to turn it into sort of a safe haven from the apocalypse was a great idea. There was also a scene where Kamala and, you know, some of the others rolled up to the shield base, and there were a whole bunch of zombies there, but they weren't attacking, and they were just kind of staying in formation as if they were being controlled. Turns out Yelena and Malena and Alexei were utilizing the controlling toxin from the Black Widow movie, and they were using that on the zombies as a sort of defense. That was really neat and clever, and it shows that the writers went through and did their homework, which is kind of what I'm saying. They interweave a lot of elements from the main universe into this one very well. It also felt good to see a lot of the characters that were introduced in Phase 4 that for some reason don't really get used here, and, you know, in sometimes creative ways that we don't really see. Like zombie Captain Marvel and Icarus throwing hands in the sky, like causing the earth to shake, was something I never thought I knew I needed. When it comes to Kamala, I think this show absolutely solidified how broken this version of Miss Marvel is. She absolutely carries the squad most of the show. There were so many times here where I'm just like, if it weren't for Kamala being there, these niggas would have been dead. If you've read like any comic she was in, her power is basically like the whole stretchy thing that Mr. Fantastic does, right? The MCU version, she's basically just Green Lantern. Like, she has like all these hard light construct powers. They did a pretty good job showcasing how useful her and her abilities are. And seeing her navigate the plot, having to deal with the people around her constantly dying, how she has to deal with that, and even consoling other heroes like Red Guardian when they feel like giving up was genuinely entertaining. I feel like if this show proved anything, it absolutely proved that Miss Marvel is a character that can definitely hold that main character energy, and she really shows it. Shang Chi, my brother, it's been a while. What's it been, like 4 or 5 years? No, I'm actually dead ass serious. We legitimately haven't seen this dude in almost half a decade. He was great. it just left me wanting to see more of him. And Katie, surprisingly, because I could stand her in the original movie she was in. Whoever came up with the idea for her to train to use the 10 rings alongside Sean was genius. That's something I feel like they need to pass onto the main timeline, because I'm like, yo, she's actually cool in this. She's badass, she knows how to use the rings, she knows how to fight, so it's like she actually has usefulness, and it makes her cool to watch, as opposed to the movie where she was just comic relief, the jokes weren't funny, and her presence was really just more of an annoyance than anything else. Here, it's night and day. When it comes to Blade is by far the best part of this entire show. He absolutely owned every scene he was in. He was a straight aura farmer the entire series. Having Blade as a Moon Knight variant is probably one of the best creative choices Marvel could have made, which is actually pretty ironic because they basically just took two characters that they had no clue what to do with in the MCU and just stuck them together. But it works. I already praised how cool his character design is, and with his action, it's exactly the same. Absolute badassery from start to finish. The way he went out, though.
Damn!
Oh, I mean, I guess I'm glad it was a quick death. I'll just say that. As strong as Blade Moon Knight is, let's just be real, he stood no chance in hell against Wanda. Let's just be honest. Regardless, it was a very solid showcase of what we can expect from Blade in the MCU overall. With Marvel Rivals and the upcoming Blade game and now this, I know Blade fans are eating good right now, even if they're not getting that live action movie. The Blade stocks are only going to go up from here. Now, I want to talk about Spider-Man, and I'm just going to say this. If you're going into this with the idea that Spider-Man is going to have a prominent role to play like in the What If episode, you'll probably end up being somewhat disappointed. I don't think you even see Spider-Man until episode 3, and even then he just doesn't really do a whole lot. I will say though, the times he is on screen, you know, he's cool. He does his thing. There was a scene where he's, you know, him, Black Panther, and Scott Lang are fighting Thanos, and he uses his webs to get Stormbreaker and toss it at him. It's really cool. You know, as a character, he's fine. He just doesn't have a whole lot of presence. Now, for me, this isn't really a complete negative, because, I mean, while I do understand that Spidey is a flagship character, I also understand he isn't going to be the center of attention in every single thing he's in. And I'm okay with that. Like, there's more to Marvel other than Spider-Man. I honestly think there is a silver lining to him taking a backseat, as it allows the spotlight to be put on other characters who desperately needed it. To be honest, the Spider-Man situation in general is just weird. This whole thing was originally going to be a movie, but apparently Sony has a huge say when it comes to the movie rights of Spider-Man and what they're even allowed to do, which is likely one of the reasons this ended up being a 4-part miniseries instead of a movie. Nonetheless, I will say I was mostly satisfied with what we saw of him, at least. With that being said, I do feel he should have been given more to do, especially considering he was basically being hyped up as having somewhat of a bigger role in the trailers. Also, I vividly remember saying last video that he probably isn't gonna make it to the end of the show. And I was right. I think. Like, it's kind of implied that he's dead, but because we don't really see it, I already know what the Spider-Man fans are gonna say. Oh, if we didn't see it, or if there's no body, like, yeah, I know. Now, I want to use this last part of the video to clear up a couple misconceptions about the show. First off, people seem to be confused with why Wanda needed Kamala so badly, since it's not really explicitly stated to you. Well, what I got from it was she basically needed her because of her ability to channel cosmic energy. The ending basically has Wanda channel the energy of the Infinity Stones from Hulk to create a sort of reality hex around the Earth, something akin to like WandaVision, but on an extremely higher scale. So even if there is a chance that there's other survivors out there, they're basically stuck in the Matrix while Wanda gets to rule the Earth with her zombie army. Another thing people seem to be confused with is how Riri is still alive after we clearly saw her get bit, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know where the confusion came from, because if you guys were paying attention right before Kamala ran away at their initial encounter, Riri had injected herself with what appears to be some sort of like experimental antidote. And when Kamala's talking to Friday, there's an implication that Riri hasn't died yet, so she was gonna go and save her. And apparently she did, because she survived. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have much bad things to say about this series. The characterization was on point with all the characters, the cinematography, the dialogue, the suspense were all on point. And I also really like how they didn't shy away from the show not having a happy ending. Now, they did leave some holes open to the point where they could make a season 2, but they said they'd only do it if it was well received. And for the most part, I'm fairly confident this will be. My personal rating for this show, honestly, I'm gonna give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's really good. I don't have much bad to say about it. To be honest, this show made better use of the characters introduced to Phase 4 than the main timeline, and I'm sitting here contemplating whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know what you guys think. If you like what you see, be sure to like the video, share, comment on the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.